My name is Jordan Tannahill, and I'm the writer and director of Declarations. I began working on Declarations not long after my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. And at the time, I was grappling with how to convey my relationship with her and the news and mortality, in a sense, both her and my own mortality, in a way that didn't fall into the sort of conventional tropes of a play about terminal illness, and wasn't sentimental and wasn't maybe even narrative. And I began thinking about the measure of a life. How do we account for a life lived? And of course, any attempt to do so will be an imperfect accounting. And so for me, this piece is a kind of attempt that will fail, but hopefully in some kind of beautiful way or meaningful way, an attempt to articulate the entirety of a life. And it's done so by a sort of litany of images, sensations, fragments of narratives and half-recalled memories. And what accumulates over the course of the piece is a kind of archive of what it is to have lived. The piece I would describe in a way as a kind of very minimal dance theater piece. So there is a text that I've written, and there's a physical score that the performers rediscover each night. And Declarations is perhaps my most adult work. It's a work that is looking at what I have, what I carry with me so far as a human being, nearing 30 years of age. And what is it to love someone who is about to die? And what is it to die? And what is left and what is carried with you beyond death, if anything? I mean, these are obviously timeless questions. They're the foundations of spirituality. They're the foundations of most art making. And I do think, for me, the making of live performance is a spiritual act. I mean, I think of the theater in a way as a kind of temple, and we go to the temple to ask these questions about about mortality, rather, about what it is to have lived and to die. And so this is what I'm doing with this piece. For me, in a way, it is a kind of ritual or evocation or prayer in a way. But it's a joyous one. It's one filled with hopefully a lot of joy, a lot of humor, a lot of play. It's not liturgical in any way, and I think that's the way I would like to look back on my life, as something that's been full of play.